1. Introduction. My name is Stacy. I am 28 years old. I live in a very large house. This house feels cold most of the time. My husband is named Mark. He is a businessman and he is successful. Mark travels a lot for his work. When he is home, he speaks only about money and expensive meals. He likes that I am quiet and polite. Mark believes I am just a decoration for his life. I am there to look nice at his parties. I have a secret that Mark does not know. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, Mark thinks I go to the gym. This is not true. I drive my car away from our big, empty house. I drive to the old part of the city. There is a small place there, an art studio above a bakery. This is where I go. At the studio, I paint with colors. Painting is the only thing that makes me feel truly alive. It is the only time I feel like the real Stacy. The rest of my days are filled with quiet and a feeling of nothingness. 2. The secret place. My life with Mark was very quiet in the large, cold house. He thought I went to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This was not true. Those evenings were my only escape. I would start my car and drive away from the nice, wealthy suburbs. I drove toward the older part of the city. It was a different world there, with older buildings and busy streets. My destination was a small place above a bakery. The smell of fresh bread would mix with the strong smell of oil paint when I went inside. This small space was my art studio. When I was there, holding a brush, I felt like the real me. All the emptiness I felt at home disappeared. Here, with the dusty floor and the tubes of color, I was Stacy, not just Mark's quiet wife. Painting was the only thing that made me feel alive. It was the only time I could show what was really inside me. I could put all my feelings onto the canvas. The studio was messy, but it was a good mess. It was a place where I could be honest without saying a word. I kept this secret very carefully because it was the only real part of my life. 3. The new man. The studio was always a little messy. It smelled strongly of oil paint and dust. This place was very different from my clean, large house. The owner of the studio was a man named Liam. He was not like my husband Mark at all. Liam wore old clothes, like jeans and shirts that had paint marks on them. He did not worry about money or looking perfect. Liam cared about colors and how the light fell on things. He had very warm blue eyes. When he looked at you, it felt like he could see everything about you. One day, I was trying to finish a painting. It was a picture of a big storm, and I felt very angry while I worked. I was frustrated because the painting was not right. Liam came to stand near me. He spoke very quietly. He said, "You are painting with anger today, Stacy. What is wrong?" He did not just look at the painting. He looked directly at my face. In that moment, I understood something important. For the first time in many years, someone truly saw me, Stacy. Not the decoration, but the real person. After that day, I began to visit the studio more often. Mark was very busy with a large business trip in London. This made me feel safe to go, but also nervous. Having a secret like this felt dangerous. If Mark found out I was spending time with a man like Liam, he would be very angry. Mark would say that painting was a waste of my time. Liam and I started to talk more than before. We would sit on the floor of the studio. We drank hot tea from mugs that had small cracks in them. I told him about my empty house and how lonely I felt there. Liam told me about his own dreams, like traveling and painting the ocean. We often sat very close to each other when we talked. My heart started to beat very fast when he was near. I looked at his hands. They looked strong but also gentle. I knew then that I was getting into trouble. I was starting to fall for him. 4 good times. My husband, Mark, had a big work trip to London. This meant I had many more hours without him in the large house. I decided to use this time to visit the art studio more often. I did not need to pretend to go to the gym anymore. I could drive to the old part of the city whenever I wanted. When I arrived, Liam was often working. He did not seem surprised to see me. He just smiled with his warm blue eyes. We started to share our time in a new way. We would sit on the floor, drinking tea from the old mugs. The tea was always warm, just like his smile. We talked about many things. I told him about the emptiness in my big house. I spoke about how Mark only cared about money. Liam listened carefully. He told me about his own dreams. He wanted to travel and paint the big ocean. He spoke with passion about light and color. I felt a growing attraction to him with every word he said. We were often very close when we talked. Sometimes our knees would touch on the floor. My heart would start to beat very fast when he looked at me. I knew this feeling was dangerous. I understood that I was starting to fall in love with Liam. This was a big problem because I was married to Mark. I knew that if Mark ever found out about my time with Liam, there would be serious trouble. But in the studio, I felt alive, and I did not want those good times to end. 5 the heavy rain. It was a very dark afternoon. Outside the small windows of the studio, the sky opened up. The rain began to fall very hard. It was not just a normal rain, it was a heavy storm. The sound on the roof was loud, like many drums playing fast. Soon, the street outside looked like a river. We were trapped inside the studio with the smell of paint and the sound of water. Liam and I were near the easel where I had been working. The light inside the room was soft because the storm made the day dark. We had been talking quietly about art, but then the conversation changed. Liam looked at the painting of the woman near the window. He said the woman looked lonely. Then he turned his blue eyes to me. He asked me a simple question that felt huge. He asked if I was lonely. I tried to think of a polite lie, something Mark would accept, but I could not. The truth came out like a whisper. I said, yes. I was lonely in my big, cold house. I was lonely even when Mark was there. Liam did not say anything else right away. He just stepped closer to me. The space between us was very small now. I could feel the warmth coming from him. He lifted his hand slowly. His fingers were not soft like a rich man's hands. They were strong from work and paint. He gently touched my cheek. His touch was careful, like I might break. The air in the room felt different, thick and buzzing. It was like electricity was moving between us. We stood still for a long time, just looking. I felt that this moment was important. This moment felt real. I knew I should stop him, but I did not want to move at all. The heavy rain outside made the world outside seem far away. Inside the studio, only Liam and I existed. 6, the long night. The heavy rain did not stop. It became a big storm outside the studio windows. My phone rang. It was Mark. He was calling from London, leaving a message on my voicemail. I looked at the screen, and then I made a decision. I turned the phone completely off. I did not want to hear his voice. I knew what this meant. It was a big problem for a married woman. But that night, I could not go back to the cold, large house. My heart felt too full of Liam and the evening we just shared. The roads outside were probably flooded anyway. Liam led me to his small apartment behind the studio. It was not big like my house, but it was warm. It was simple and very clean. We sat close together on his sofa. A soft blanket covered us both. We did not rush. We just stayed close, talking quietly and kissing again and again. We whispered many things in the darkness. We shared secrets we had kept for a long time. We did not sleep for many hours. We just lay there, Liam's arms around me, keeping me safe. For the first time, I felt true peace. I understood that a marriage should not feel like a prison or a cage. It should feel like this, safe and real. When the sun finally came up, the storm had passed. I knew I had to return to the real world. I drove back to the suburbs, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. The thought of facing Mark made me nervous, but the feeling of being with Liam gave me a small strength. I knew my life with Mark was finished in my heart. 7, back home. The drive back to the large house felt very long. My hands shook when I held the steering wheel. The night with Liam was wonderful, but now I had to face the morning. I parked the car in the silent garage. The big house felt cold again, even though the sun was shining. I walked inside, expecting the house to be empty. Mark was supposed to be in London for 3 more days, but he was standing in the entrance hall. He was not wearing his suit. He looked angry. He had returned early. Mark looked at me from my shoes to my hair. His eyes stopped at my neck. I had forgotten to wash properly. A small spot of blue paint was still there, right on my skin. It was the color from the canvas in the studio. "Where have you been?" Mark asked. His voice was low and hard. It was not a question, it was an accusation. He saw the paint. He knew something was wrong. I felt fear, but then I remembered Liam's warm eyes and the feeling of being truly seen. I took a deep breath. I would not hide anymore. I looked straight at my husband. "I was painting," I said. My voice was steady, much stronger than I thought it would be. "I was at the art studio." Mark looked surprised, then he started to laugh. It was a short, sharp sound. "Painting? You waste your time with messy colors. That is what you tell me." "No," I said, shaking my head. "That is the truth. I am an artist, Mark. That is who I am, and I am not happy being just your wife here." Mark stopped laughing. He looked at me as if I were speaking a strange language. "You are my wife," he stated. "That is your role. That is your job. Do not be foolish, Stacy." I looked around the huge, empty hall. I saw the expensive furniture and the cold air. I knew then that I could not stay in this picture anymore. I was ready to fight for my real life. A new life. I looked at Mark, and suddenly he looked very small. His money did not matter to me anymore. I knew I could not stay in that large, cold house. I told him, "No, I am not a job, I am Stacy." I went upstairs. I did not take the expensive jewelry or the fancy dresses Mark liked. I only packed a small bag with things that were truly mine. I took my old sweater and my favorite book. I walked to the front door. I opened it and stepped outside. I did not look back at the house or at Mark. I closed the door quietly behind me. My car felt light on the road. I drove back to the old part of the city. I drove to the bakery and up the stairs to the studio. Liam was waiting near the window. When he saw me, he smiled. It was a real, warm smile that reached his blue eyes. He did not ask many questions. He just came to me and held my hand. Life is different now. It is simple. We do not have a big house or fancy things. I found a small job at a bookstore near the studio. I work there in the mornings. In the afternoons and evenings, I paint. Liam is always with me. We drink tea from simple mugs and talk about colors and light. We are building a new life together. This life is quiet, but it is full of joy. I feel free every day. I finally have a new canvas for my life, and I am painting it myself.